Are you ready to create a life you crave? Let's spin that doom loop of negativity into an upward success cycle and start living lucky. I'm Jana.
I'm Jason.
Where'd that cartoon voice come from?
Unknown.
That's what we're talking about today. The unknown. Jason and I went to this MeetUp group. Have you ever been to a MeetUp group? Because it is a very unknown experience. You have no idea what you're getting into.
Yeah, so a French woman, a Nigerian woman, and a Jamaican woman, and two Americans walk into a bar.
That's exactly what it was. It was a very international crowd, but very intriguing, I might add.
That was really good.
The topic they threw out was the unknown. And they're like, we're going to go around and talk about the unknown.
What does the unknown mean to you?
And so as people went around and started just saying what came to their mind about the unknown, and we all had like this talking stick. Like you couldn't talk unless you had the talking stick, and only one person could talk at a time.
Which I'm not good with.
It felt very Brady Bunch-like, didn't it?
Or yeah.
It was like, oh, don't talk unless you have your coffee mug.
Or
I better grab mine.
Lord of the Rings.
Something.
Don't talk unless you have the pig head.
Good morning, Sheila. Oh, I think no, it's not Lord of the Rings. It's Lord of the Flies.
That's what I said.
Lord of the Flies.
That's what I said.
Totally different.
Rewind
totally different.
it. I said Lord of the Flies.
Which was one of my favorite books.
One of my
up.
favorite books.
In fact, you know what? I just ordered one of my favorite books on Amazon from growing up. It was Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. Did any of you read that?
I thought it said, Are you there, Margaret? It's me, God.
Now that would be a different story.
That's a good sequel.
But I like that. No, it's a Judy Blume book. Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. And it literally, what I remember about it was it had a little bit of faith, but it was mostly about having your period. That's what I remember about it. What do you guys remember about it? Anyway, I loved this book, and I thought, I'm going to reread that book because it's been 40-something years since I've read that book. 40. It's been 40 years since I've read that book. And then when I went to order it from Amazon, a AI technology kicked in, and it said, did you know that this is being made into a movie? And all of a sudden the trailer came up.
That's pretty cool.
And I did not know that Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret is being made into a movie coming out in April.
That's awesome.
I know.
Well, I can't wait for the sequel to come out.
Are You There, Margaret? It's Me, God.
By Booty June.
What do you think God would say to you?
He would say, have faith, period.
Because
Instead
you may be stepping into the
about
unknown.
Your period, having faith.
Oh, stop. I'm pulling it back into the topic because we're talking about the unknown today. So as we were at our meetup group and as we were going around and people were talking about the unknown, I found it very, very interesting because everybody had their own little twist on what the unknown felt
perspective
meant for them. And the first person talked about relationships and how, they really felt like when they would go into a relationship, they felt like they almost were going into it without a net. It was the unknown in almost every relationship they had, whether it was a friendship, a colleague relationship, an intimate relationship. It was the unknown. And then the next person talked about their circumstances and their career and how it just always felt like every step they took in their career, it felt like the unknown. And then the next person talked about spirituality and how they were exploring the unknown in their spiritual world and the metaphysical world, and
what's true, everything.
And then the next person talked about how as they explored themselves and as they got to know themselves as they got older, they just felt like there was so much unknown that they thought by this time in their life they would know. So
that was me.
My whole point is that life is an unknown, don't you think?
Yeah. Every next moment is an unknown, except for we're just we're moving into that next moment with faith or fear.
And that is why I think it is so imperative to have some sort of faith or something to believe in. Because how do you take that next step if you don't believe in something?
Give me something to believe in.
Hey, Becky, thanks for joining us. There's that analogy of driving in
Miss
a
Daisy.
foggy night.
Yep.
And, the headlights, you can only see a little bit in front of you.
2 yards in front of you or just past the wind. It's as long as you can see and far enough to move the inches, move safely forward.
Yeah, you don't have
That
to
is
see,
moving forward.
Right. You don't have to see all the way down the road. You just have to see the next step,
Yeah.
the little bit in front of you. And way down the road, it is the unknown.
Yeah.
We just have to be brave enough to say, okay, well, you know what? I can take that next best step.
Yeah. And I totally just lost my train of thought around.
Because you were talking about you went from driving Miss Daisy to something to believe in.
Yeah, well, that's the John Bon Jovi, isn't it? Give me something to believe in.
I
That's
don't
a good
even
one.
know.
I see you, booger.
Good morning, Rob. Oh, I said Rob, but it's Lori. Rob. And good morning, David.
Good morning, Robley.
And Becky's here, so we are all over the place. But
and
we're talking
there's something about the unknown, which is an excitement, because you don't want to know everything, because if you knew everything that you were going to be walking into, there would be no excitement, anticipation. There's like when you're planning for a vacation, you're anticipating, and that's one of the things about life is sometimes we anticipate the good, and sometimes we anticipate the bad, and fear is kind of anticipating the bad. And like if we're planning a vacation because we're getting off of work or something like that, that's our brains putting meaning on what's going to happen. And we anticipate good. So the unknown, which is everything in the future, we're anticipating good. So we get excited.
Yes.
We get all this energy, and it's like, okay. And then we're super productive at work. Statistics say that we get like 2 to 3 times more done the last day or week of work before vacation, because our energy levels are up. We're so productive because we're excited about what's coming. And
we're bringing a new state.
Yes. Or we can say bad things are going to happen, and then our state goes down because the unknown, we're planting the seed in our head is not good.
Don't you think you need a little bit of both?
Yeah, you just need uncertainty.
Because I know that in my life, I know that every morning the sun's going to come up. Like, I just know that. I trust and I believe and I know that that's going to happen. I also know that I have my morning routine, and that is set. Like, those are my certainties in life. But then if I have some uncertainties or some unknowns,
We have to have that
then
balance.
that gives me something to look forward to. And that, like you said, gives me the excitement and the enthusiasm, something to look forward to.
We say, one of the things we say that we want is stability and security and those things. And there's a huge balance between.
But then life gets boring.
Yeah, there's a huge
life
balance.
gets boring if it's too stable.
Yeah, there's a
so
huge-
we have to have both.
You have to have that balance between security and insecurity, and stability and instability, and also
Certainty
known
and
unknown.
uncertainty.
Certainty and uncertainty. Yeah.
Known and unknown, which is why
You just don't want to get dangerous with it. Some people do
Yes.
want to get dangerous with it, but it's all in your value system.
You know, we watched that documentary about who's the balloon guy, the virgin,
Richard Branson.
Richard Branson. And he is known
Tag
as
Richard Branson, because I haven't talked to him in a while.
he's known as such a great risk taker, right?
Mm-hmm.
He does all of these really extravagant things in the world. However, he also talks in that documentary about taking calculated risks.
Right.
So even though from our perspective, it seems like he's living way out here on the edge, he also has stop losses to where he is getting way out here, but he's also got measures in place in case he's putting the safety nets along the way.
And he's doing it his way. Like he doesn't care what other people really think about him. So like you wouldn't think a CEO is going to strip down and walk out on an airplane wing holding a sign up of Virgin Mobile phones.
I think you would do that.
Well, so
I think Jason would do that when we get to that point in our lives.
I don't know.
Today, February 28th at 7:06. Jason Shelfer said that when we get to that point in our life, when we have our own private jet,
747 and
we are
telephone company, like what's the actor's name?
When we are going
Brad Pitt,
to
Jolie.
different, no, we don't want to be like them. We want to be like us. But when
definitely like us, not
when we are going to our different events, you are going to climb out on the wing naked with a sign that says,
I did it my way.
Oh, no. See,
living lucky.
Just having coffee with him is an unknown.
I
kid you not.
It'll always be an unknown.
You never know what's going to come out of his mouth. And sometimes my butthole puckers a little bit. I'm like, is that acceptable?
Oh, Orville Redden pucker over here.
Oh, dear.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Oh, I just want to make my parents proud. Please,
Well, my
please
mom's
don't say
going.
anything to not make my parents
Right
proud.
now, my mom's going, please don't. Please don't.
Oh, Kathy Chase, good morning. And Julin. Oh, my goodness. I forgot. Oh, she forgot. Well, good morning. I'm glad you joined us. Okay. All right, guys. It's been a crazy morning. Oh, John Travolta is just down the road. He can lend you his plane.
That's right. I can walk out on his plane.
We'll just call John.
Yeah.
We're staying alive this morning. That's what we're doing. Have a great day. Unknown and known. I'm not sure that we got anywhere, but we had a nice little philosophical conversation.
And what's up with the K? You can't even hear it. Known.
Oh, I thought he was imitating John Travolta. Didn't you? Like that was such a John.
That was so more Bruce Willis.
That was such a John Travolta moment.
That was so Bruce Willis.
All right. Have a good day, guys. Bye-bye.
Keep living lucky.
If the idea of living lucky appeals to you, visit us at startlivinglucky.com.